I want to talk today about community. Community is something that is somewhat real and somewhat nebulous. But all of the work he did was essentially to bring people into a state of seeing their community as larger than their tribe or who they had identified with before. And that process of going from ethnocentric to world-centric or universally centric is the process of maturation, which Ken Wilber calls one of those stages that most people in the world never get to. And so this idea of moving from my to our is the beginning of this process, in which it's our, but our is somewhat like me. You look like me, or you're the same religion, or you're something like me. That our is fundamental for our growth to get to that level. And if we don't get to that level, we're stuck in this very primitive, almost, way of seeing the world. But when we can see that our fortune and our happiness depends on others, we have moved up a level, at least to the ethnocentric level of community, which is a level of growing up, which is fundamental and cannot go beyond that until you get that you belong in a group, that we're stronger together, that the world that we make together is better than the world you can make alone. Without negating that, this is the critical thing. Without negating that, you move up to the universal, and you don't get rid of your ethnocentric ideas, you just add to them. The heart of the matter, according to Thich Nhat Hanh, is not to look outward for the solution, though, but to look inward. According to Thich Nhat Hanh, inward is the answer. In Buddhism, there's a phrase that the Dalai Lama repeats, which is, if you wish to be happy, develop compassion. If you wish to be happy, develop compassion. And that statement essentially says that when you recognize that your heart's desires and your needs and your wants and all the things that matter to you are the same thing that the other wants and needs. When you recognize that, then you see them with the eye of compassion. So when you think of what you want or what is right, it has to include them as well. But the first thing is to become aware, accepting, tolerant, embodying your own sense of loss and suffering. This sense that I hurt. When you get that, and I assume everybody here can relate. If not, let me hold the tension for you. This sitting in meditation, when you sit long enough, you don't have to wonder if you've ever been hurt. The hurt arises up through the meditation. And then you have this powerful practice of sitting still, of doing nothing in that pain and suffering. And as you sit in that pain and suffering, in that, it begins to burn off. Because you're not adding to it, you're just experiencing it. And it burns off. But you have the memory of it. So that when you see someone else in pain and suffering, you remember what it's like to do that. And you don't have the arrogance of going, oh, that's not like me. The compassion arises naturally. And you feel for the other person. And they become part of your human tribe. They are part of the universal that is yours. Today we want to celebrate community, but we also want to deepen in our ability to recognize that we're all in this together. That your losses are multiplied billions of times. Your sadness, your joys also, but all the things that encompass your life are replicated with its own unique flavor billions of times over. That the whole world is suffering. The whole world is wanting to be happy. The whole world has dreams and hopes of a greater life. This is the universal condition. And when you see someone that doesn't look like you, they are like you on the inside. We are all in this together, and we're all in it alike in so many ways. I want you to contemplate, as we do this, the fact that everybody needs to eat. That everybody that needs to eat needs air, water. They need friends. They need to be loved. They need to have success. They need to be comforted when they suffer. They need to be known that they belong. Everybody, no matter what, no matter how they're shaped, they are just like us. And so then, as we do the substitute wine, the grape juice, then we also realize that the same blood that runs through Jesus runs through us. The same idea of the Buddha who could sit and be in complete bliss, that same human possibility exists in us. That we have the potential to unfold in so many ways. So yes, we are confined by the physical world. But yes, we also have the possibility of transformation that both the Buddha and Jesus said was possible.